PBC, the return of Deontay Wilder. Listen, man, I don't know about you. I know a lot of people have hopped off the Bomb Squad after the Fury 2 fight, but Deontay Wilder's my guy. I drove all the way to Alabama to see him fight Chris Arreola. Um, I'm repping Bomb Squad in this fight. What do you think? How do you think this one's going down?
I got a lot of respect for Hellenius, but I can tell you for sure Wilder's coming in there to deliver power. I actually had the pleasure of seeing Wilder Ortiz at the Barclays. Me and my old lady went to that one live.
One?
Um, yeah, one.
Wow, that was a fight. Because two, it was like, damn, all right, he's getting kind of outboxed, and then just
Yeah, this was one where he got knocked down, and it was crazy that night because they was filming Creed 2 as well in the building. So it was just a historic
nice.
night on all accounts. But this one is, I mean, it's going to be historic for the return of the king, the second best heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Usyk, with what he's done with, Anthony Joshua, it's funny I'm saying the second best heavyweight, but you're talking about the most dominant reign. And the only person to take him out has the next most dominant reign. Remember, we can't give Fury credit for dominating the division. What we give him credit for is for dominating the gladiator. He dominated the dominator because Deontay Wilder campaigned with that green belt, knocking everybody out. When people were doubting his skill and doubting his abilities, he was knocking everybody out. It didn't matter what AJ was doing with the belts. It was Wilder who was being told, that's the heavyweight. So, again, what's he going to do? He's going to continue to establish himself as the second best heavyweight. And hopefully, because I don't know what Fury's going to do, he's kind of like, on his, champagne campaign. I think that if we get an Usyk and Wilder fight, I'd much rather see that than perhaps a Fury and Usyk. Even though I understand that Fury and Usyk would tie everything up, unification.
Yeah, I mean, it's an
Undisputed at
undisputed
heavyweight.
fight, definitely. But yeah, as far as this one, man, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter talking about this fight is dog shit, and I'm like, no, man, this is a good fight. Especially, it's just that you don't. The people when we talk about not knowing shit about boxing, man, it's like if you don't know the Nordic Nightmare, bro, where have you been? He upset the rise of the babyface Kalnaki.
Yep.
And now he's right here. And for Wilder and his team, I guess they must have saw something in that sparring and said, you know what, we could fight him. Even just looking at his fights with Babyface, Hellenius keeps his hands down a lot. And that's not something you want to do because if you get hit by Wilder, you're going out. And I think that's we might see a repeat of the Dominic Brazil fight. What do you think?
That's the plan, though. And I mean, no disrespect to Hellenius, but if you're going to bring Wilder back, you want to bring him back in spectacular fashion. You want people to forget about some of the ineffectiveness in his boxing, and you want to remember what he is best at. Hellenius is a prime opponent for him to demonstrate perhaps what he is best at.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Definitely. Well, that being said, whoever wins, are we going to see the in-house pay-per-view against Andy Ruiz? Or in the event that Hellenius wins, I don't see him getting a shot at Usyk. But if Wilder wins, does he go and take a fight with Usyk? Or does Al Heyman and PBC say, hey, listen, before we let you do anything like that, we're going to make this Ruiz fight because this is a big fight right here?
It's interesting because both those fights are actually good, but Wilder has a better chance of beating Usyk than he does beating Andy Ruiz. And I know that sounds crazy, but just because Ruiz is the bigger guy that could perhaps sustain the power, plus he's a pretty damn good boxer. Usyk, on the other hand, again, I don't know about his ability. I don't know if he's been in it with as a bigger puncher as Wilder. So I just feel like being a naturally smaller guy, he doesn't stand a chance. His just punch resistance. I know some people hate that term, but I don't think he has the punch resistance given, his natural frame. Now, Wilder isn't a huge guy either, but his punching power is ungodly. We know that. So
Yeah.
him being able to, kind of put some umph on it against Usyk, I see him, having a more of a puncher's chance than him having a chance against an Andy Ruiz, who, as a naturally bigger guy, he may say, "Yeah, you know what? Remember, I was coming in fit. Fuck all that. I'm coming in fat now because I need to be able to." And he may go, a la Tyson Fury. He may take a page out of the Fury book and turn into a fucking polar bear on that ass. So who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know, man. I feel, I get what you're saying with that, but I feel like Usyk is the tougher fight than Ruiz, just for the fact that we saw the way that King Kong was outboxing Wilder in that rematch until the shot was landed. And I feel like Usyk, even as good as a boxer as King Kong is, Usyk is the master boxer of the division. Maybe besides Tyson Fury, but Tyson Fury just uses a lot of his size advantage. For somebody who is undersized, being able to be that master boxer, I think you give that to Usyk. And as long as he can evade that right hand, I think he's in good shape. Now, can he evade the right hand is the question, but we'll see. Me personally, I don't think PBC allows Wilder to go fight Usyk without getting that huge payday pay-per-view with him versus Ruiz, because I feel like that fight sells.
Yeah, and I could agree with that, and definitely some good points on that. You know, um, of course they keep Wilder away from the boxer, but again, he comes back, knocks out Hellenius within 5 rounds. Maybe Andy Ruiz says, "Yeah, I'd rather do something else," right? So
Yeah,
it
I
all
mean,
depends.
but who is there for Ruiz if not Wilder? There is no other big fight. When you have fought Joshua, when you have fought two pay-per-views now, one was against Chris Arreola, which wasn't necessarily a fight that the fans were you know, dying over, but the King Kong fight was a good fight as far as matchup wise.
And so
Now,
now hold on. Remember the Andy Ruiz we saw in that King Kong fight? He would have lost if he didn't knock
if the
Ortiz
knockdowns
down.
weren't in there, yeah.
Period. So again, I don't think he's as sure as he can beat Wilder either. It's where he's at in here. We don't even know if Andy Ruiz is still in it up here. We know what his father's saying. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Well,
But
you know
Andy,
what? From everything I've seen, all we know is what we've seen on social media, and everything I've seen on social media, it seems to be pointing in that direction. That is the fight that he's looking for.
yeah,
But
a swan
is it
song,
the
if you
truth?
will.
Yeah, we'll see. You know what I mean? But we have that main event